Jeff, are we good? Oh. All right. Welcome to the 75th U.S. Women's Open Championship. Please join me in welcoming world number 3, Nelly Korda, to the interview area. She is competing in her 6th Women's Open. Nelly, when I say your 6th Women's Open, what comes to mind?
Wow. I'm old, or I'm getting old.
Recently, you have talked about your experience playing in your first Women's Open. Can you just reiterate some of that?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I was so young, 14 years old. My dad caddied for me. We played at Sabonic, and just getting to hit beside, the best players in the world and playing in the same event as them, it was a dream come true, and that's kind of where I decided, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Questions?
How are you feeling? How's your back?
It's good. It's a lot better than it was. I'm just really grateful to be out here, and I'm just going to take it step by step. I just started practicing probably 12 days ago, so I'm just happy that I'm pain-free.
Can you tell us exactly what happened at Aronimink and then what you were diagnosed with ultimately?
I just did something stupid. I tried cracking my back, and my back went into spasm, and I wanted to take it slow until I was 100%. This year, it's a funky year too, so I didn't want to come back too early and kind of aggravate it again.
2 courses this year. Talk about how that changes your preparation.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've never done this before, so there's a lot more yardage books, and I definitely have to keep them in the car because I have this habit of forgetting my yardage book when I get to the golf course. But yeah, a lot more prep. These greens definitely play a big role, and so I've been working a lot around the greens.
Nelly, your brother and sister have all had fabulous, years in a pandemic. I'm wondering, why is it that there is not a slacker in the Korda family? You guys could have gone the other way and just not been more complacent about sports. Why do you think you are all so driven?
Obviously my parents. And I don't know, I think we just push each other to be better athletes, better people. We're always there for each other, and we all want to see each other succeed. But I think we just all, as a family, just push each other. Every single time I play against my dad, he doesn't play golf at all. And he just always wants to play a money match. And he knows how to push my buttons. So it's actually crazy. I usually just win one up, or sometimes we're even going into the last hole. But we all just always push each other and try to make each other better. And aggravate each other sometimes.
Does that make you want to play him more, or do you sometimes feel like, I just don't have that in me today, Dad?
No, thankfully we just play once or twice a year. As I said, he's usually with my brother, so when he gets home, he just wants to just chill.
With greens so large at Champions, does it change your strategy whenever you're attacking pin locations or anything like that?
For sure, yeah. Your iron play has to be on point this week, especially it's playing long. So you're going to have longer clubs in, and I think the greens are going to get firmer throughout the week. So making sure, honestly, even if you miss the green, they're huge greens, but even if you miss the green, you're likely to be in the water because the runoffs are so big. So definitely the greens are going to play a huge role this week, and putting control and trying to minimize your mistakes on the green.
Going back to the back for a second, how bad did it get, and what did you do when you couldn't swing and you took the time off?
I just took my time really with it. I didn't want to rush. Yeah. I wanted to make sure that I was 100% whenever I teed up or tried to swing again. So honestly, it wasn't that bad. I just wanted to make sure that it wouldn't happen again.
What's been your routine this week? How many holes have you played each day? What's kind of the game plan? And has that been less than you would have done because of your back?
So yesterday I played 18 for the first time walking. since KPMG. So my feet are a little sore today. And I just played the front 9 on the other course and walked the back, chipped and putted.
What's the biggest adjustment you have to make whenever going from bent grass greens to Bermuda greens?
So I didn't. Is one golf course bent and one golf
No, I'm
course?
just wondering in general.
So I grew up on Bermuda, so I'm used to that. But I think it's how it spins on the greens, 1, and 2, I would say putting. You just have to, sometimes with Bermuda, you have to play the grain. That's like the biggest part in Bermuda. With bent, it's kind of, you just play the slope.
Well, one question here from Cisco WebEx. The USGA has been using a Women Worth Watching hashtag this week. How does it feel to have the organization kind of get behind women's golf in that way?
I mean, it's awesome. Every year, I think women's sport is trending in the right direction. And I actually just saw that even the women's NHL retweeted or was tweeting about us. So, it's awesome to see that all these organizations are getting behind it and spreading the word.
Brian.
Just curious how you assess your year to this point. It's been a weird year for a lot of reasons.
I think I've had a really good year. I played well at ANA, and I played well at British, and I had some really good finishes. I missed, I think, 3 or 4 events this year, but other than that, I'm very happy with how my year's gone. I've made some changes. I have a different coach, and yeah.
Does it make you anxious at all coming into a major not having played that much?
A little, yeah. I mean, you kind of don't know what's going to happen. I mean, your feel's not 100% there. Like yesterday when I was putting, I was like hitting them like 10 feet by. I was like, my feel is definitely not there right now. But I think as I play more rounds under pressure, obviously, it'll get better.
Another one from Cisco WebEx, Doug Ferguson from AP. How far can a hashtag Women Worth Watching and tweets, especially from the male PGA Tour players, go in raising the profile of women's golf?
For sure. I always said, like, you need everyone kind of get behind a movement. So I think if the PGA Tour players got behind this, it would spread like wildfire.
Nelly, in that same vein, when you've been able to watch your brother at tennis events where it's the women and the men playing these big events together, do you have longing, like, why can't golf figure out a way to do that, like the Vic Open, do more of those types of events where we both share this big platform?
I think it would be really good for women's golf.
Yeah.
Again, it would spread the word more about us, and I think it would get more people interested in women's golf. Not even just older people, I would say even like the younger generation kids. Mm-hmm. I think it would be really cool.
What do you think is keeping it from happening?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask.
Another one from online. Who from your family is coming out to support this week, and how much does that add, especially when there's no fans out here?
My dad's coming out. My mom will be at CME, so it's a hard time of year for her to leave home for 2 weeks. So at least my dad will be out here, and it'll be nice.
Nelly, you mentioned the coach change. When did you make it, and who are you working with now?
I switched coaches just before British, and I'm working with Justin Sheehan. So, yeah.
It's all been good, an easy transition for you?
Yeah, it was really easy. I mean, we're not doing much with my swing at all. It's more of how to practice and how to approach the golf course preparation, this stuff.
Karen.
Nelly, it seems like most of the year you've been among the pre-tournament favors to when major weeks roll around. I'm wondering, how do you process that? I'm sure the pressure internally that you have is more than any external pressure, but what is it like for you to know that people think it's your time now?
I mean, it's awesome to hear, but, at the end of the day, I think everyone has a different path. Some people may have their first win, a major, some people it may take longer. So if I play more consistent golf and my body's feeling good, I think the better I feel going into the major, the better I will perform.
You
How-
mentioned changing instructors. I was just wondering what sorts of changes you've made in terms of approaching the golf course.
Just more work around the greens, just paying more attention to detail.
How easy or hard is it to trust your path when you hear all of that external noise?
I think you just have to have a really good support team. It's all about the team you build.
Okay.
My parents have always preached that, and I think if you have a really good team around you, they'll reassure you even when times are tough.
We're going to go 2 more questions, Beth Ann.
Do you normally try to crack your back, or was that like a random thing?
No, I mean, it was cold. My body does not do well in cold weather. It gets really tight, and I just made a little oopsie, which turned into a little bit longer of an oopsie.
Which hole was it on?
It was probably on 13. Yeah,
Thank you.
first
How
day.
much, can you just give us an idea of how much you and Jessica share, like sisters to sister this week? It's a big week, it's a major. I know you play practice rounds together. How much do you approach this together with strategy and studying and your 2 teams coming together as well?
Kinda. I mean, usually the only thing that we talk about is lines off the tee. It's just nice to have her out here. She's like, I'm so happy I have a friend again. So we play every practice round together, and we kind of feed off of each other. But at the end of the day, she approaches a golf course a little differently than I do.
Last question from Cisco WebEx. What's the best advice your dad ever gave you, especially just around being a professional athlete?
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and everyone has a different path.
Thanks, Nelly. Good luck this week.
Thank you.